Good afternoon, Carbon Boy. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone at home. Hope you're all doing well this fine Thursday afternoon. Back here at Atlanta for round 3 of the Community Series. Like you said, looking to be a crack over a night here. The weather's turned out for us, and I'm keen to see these BMW M3s go racing around here. That is certainly correct, Carbon Boy. Okay, that's very good, Carbon Boy, but you may have to check your settings there, mate, because according to the guys in the audience, they can hear me, but they can't hear you.
Check, check, mic check, audience. Can the audience hear me now? Please let me know.
Hopefully so, because that was a very good intro that everyone missed just there, and I don't think we can repeat that now.
I'm a
Moments
little
passed,
disappointed
unfortunately.
that I thought I nailed that intro and now I've got to do it all again.
It's
Ah,
okay. It's
rookie
okay.
error, rookie error.
It's okay, mate. You know, it's you're still learning. It's okay.
So, YouTube chat, please let me know. Can you hear me?
Yep, by the looks of it, mate, you got the all clear. Keep it going, brother.
Right, thank you very much. Yes, Sean, I'm sure I will hear about this later. It's fine. Okie dokie. Well, let's just fire away then. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sector 1 Sim Racing's round 3 of the Community Series. We are here at the beautiful Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta in the middle of the good old US of A. My name is Luke, aka Carbon Boy, and joining me in the comms box tonight is none other than Captain Spinneroni himself, aka the Muffin Man. How are you this evening?
I'm sensational again, mate. I'm sure the audience didn't hear you the first time say that, but I did. So good day again. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone at home. Hope you all are keen still for some awesome racing action here at Road Atlanta. Lovely car. We've got the BMW M3 2011 GT model, I believe it is. And not a lot of customization to do with the car, just BOP, change the brake bias if you want to. But other than that, everyone's in the exact same car, should provide some good racing.
Is very good. Some say brake bias 5 to the rear is the go. Others say brake bias 5 to the front. It depends on your preference, really. But what do you say we skip the talk and we just get into some racing? How does that sound?
I like the sound of that, I think. I think these boys here are keen, red hot, ready to go. I reckon that big red button that you, by the looks of it, have tried to spray paint orange but failed miserably. Can't say that word, can I? I'll give her a push and we'll get these guys underway.
Beautiful. They may have tried using that cheap plastic dip, which I did try using on some wheels a number of years back. Let's just say it either doesn't stick or needs to be removed via sandblasting. There's no middle ground.
Well, that's okay. If I was honest with you, mate, I prefer option B because at least then the product works, even if you have to take it off at some point. Alright, we're in the pit lane now here, ladies and gentlemen. Cars are starting to come out on track. Here I want to say it's a V8 engine roaring, but I'm sure someone will correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I deeply apologise.
You are correct. It is a 4.2 litre V8, and I'm just waiting for Ghost to scream at me in the chat if I'm wrong. So we are currently riding on board Renegade, one of our regular main game drivers who is rocking the Datsun Racing livery. We do have a few familiar names from a few seasons ago who've taken a bit of a hiatus for a while, just, you know, general life things going on, but have jumped back in tonight. We have, rocking the beautiful orange-wheeled APR Motorsport car, we have Betty, aka BPM Design. Quite an excellent designer in terms of liveries and general graphics design from what I have seen of their work, and it's great to see them back in Sector 1 again. Must admit they were probably driving a little bit before my time, but again, great to have them back. There is another couple of drivers here who have been present before. That's not the button I was looking to press because they're all changing positions. We have former Team 53 TO NASCAR, who is rocking the Blacklight Motorsport livery tonight, looking resplendent in that beautiful tyre power Launceston blue. And there is also on track at the moment another returning driver, Darkside, aka the Bad Doctor, who is, once it gives me a good look at the livery, is rocking the CP Motorsports Aussie Tyres sponsored livery. Get your free massage gun later when you buy a set of wheels, so I hear. That might just be a Victoria only thing, I'm not sure how it is in other states.
I'll have to find out for you, good sir, because a massage gun does sound lovely right about now.
Not while we're here in the comms box by ourselves. But if you could be so kind as to do a run through the grid for us, as it looks like Brocky is sitting out qualifying in the pits. Maybe he's keen to start from the back of the grid.
I think you could be on something there, good sir. Yeah, BSR Brocky, team owner of Brocky 05 Sim Racing, in his team's car there, the Boxer Beauty, a BMW M3. He could be doing like the last to first challenge, followed by the last to first challenge. Quite possibly, we'll see how we go. But currently your fastest man on track at the moment is Tinder Rags in the REM car there, the pink and white liquid solutions with a 1 minute 18.9 fastest lap. Not too bad a lap there.
That is quite rapid.
That's very quick. Now, second on track currently, S1XL, current Div 3 driver for Gadsden Racing, normally in Div 3, really quick driver in Div 3 in my opinion. Currently second on the grid with a 1 minute 19.6, also a very quick lap, but I feel he's got more to improve upon that with. In P3, we got ESR Prometheus, a new face to the Sector 1 Community Series grid here, driving the number 992 Hoon Corp livery. In behind that P5 here, currently got NASCAR, as previously mentioned, driving the Blacklight car, former Team 53 owner, my former team owner, absolute legend he is. Just bumped up to P4, I noticed on the timing board, not P5 now. We have ESR Renegade in the Dadson livery, number 575. And just in front of him, another newcomer in the form of Rocky Bullfrog Zero in the Merlin Lightning Motorsport car there. Was a 1 minute 19.7, not a bad lap for a newcomer. I reckon it's a very quick lap there.
I've already wanting to dub Mr. Rocky Bullfrog Bullwinkle after the legendary cartoon series from my youth, Rocky and Bullwinkle, slightly showing my age here.
Yep, and I'm slightly showing my age when I say I'm not sure who you're talking about. Anyways though, keep going down the grid here. Next name we are yet to mention, currently in P8 we have LP11 E-Bulk. I think that's another relatively new name to the community series, or at least new to me. Definitely seen him around the traps before, around the Gran Turismo landscape. Currently sitting in P8 with a 1 minute 20.0, driving the Red Mist car, I believe it is. Yep, trademark on the side, Dominic Toretto on the rear bumper, reminding you about family. Lovely to see. Currently in P10, another returning person, now P4, Slappers, driving the Black Rose car, another sort of regular person here in the community series, owner of WTCC Racing, I believe it's called, in the Gran Turismo landscape. Who else have we got on the grid that we've not said yet? We've got Symmetry Motorsport team owner Dan P11 currently, Nemesis Gaming, currently with a 1 minute 20.9, about to cross the finish line as we speak. We'll see if he can improve his time here. No, he cannot, unfortunately, not today. And we've also got familiar face for you there, currently P13 Carbon Boy in Lenosis. Driver for APR Motorsport. Butcher that, didn't I?
No,
driving
APR
the Switchblade card.
That's fine. He normally drives for APR Motorsport, but he's currently driving for Butter Knife. Sorry, yes, definitely Switchblade.
Yep, definitely Switchblade. Currently also done at 1 minute 27.0. He might also be going for that last to first challenge. So how's the competition there with Brocky?
I am a massive fan of that Gamesman livery. It's just simple yet elegant.
It is very nice. I don't mind it myself either. It's got a bit of like a sort of vintage feel. It's a livery that D's Racing, as it was formerly known, ran way back in the day, but now gone back to it with a Switchblade logo on the side. It's a very nice car in my opinion, but we've still got one more driver to mention here. Also going for the last to first challenge, we have Not So Sober John, driving the... I'm going to need help here with this one actually, Carbon Boy. I should know that livery, but I cannot recall off the top of my head, and I feel bad for saying that. So sorry to that TO, who I've completely snubbed.
I'll be honest, because he's sitting in the pits, I can't actually view it.
We'll just call it, it's got Party Hire written on the side, so we'll call it Party Hire Racing.
Is that Doghouse? That's the Doghouse racing car.
That's
you know
Doghouse,
what?
okay.
He's probably found that bottle of beverage under the passenger seat and the cup holder in the center console that was so courteously installed by the Doghouse team owner. Or there might be a couple of empty Ted bottles in the passenger footwell. I guess his performance tonight will let that remain to be seen. We're currently sitting in... Well, it says P2 on the timing board, but let's be honest, it's currently P1 with the fastest lap of a 1:18.708, which is under Bop, is quite rapid, is Ebolk in the RMR car.
Yes, well, he's doing a very good job here, but I think Ebolk driving the RMR car, he's got to remember like one thing, you know, when he's got such an influential figure on the back of his car, you got to remember, you know, you don't need results when you got family.
And
Dominic Toretto is always with him.
He's got both family and results at the moment. He just has done a pit stop for some fresh tyres and has gone off at turn 1, and that's a whoopsie.
Yep, naughty there, that's alright, but also I want to point out here, 1,000ths of a second behind him in P2, Tim Durax with a 1 minute 18.709.
Who we are currently riding on board with, and that lap of his, that 709, was set on his previous lap, and he's coming into the final chicane, currently purple. So I'm just going to stay on board with him right now as he comes up over the hill under the Fox sign. Jeez, I hope I said that clearly enough, otherwise that could be misinterpreted. Around the final corner, across the finish line. Ooh, he does set a new personal best lap with a 1:18.578, but he has been pipped by Excel, who has set a new fastest lap of a 1:18.477 and is on a flyer now on his... He will get this one lap.
He certainly will. Currently, the first car to be come across the finish line to finish their qualifying session will be Darkside, currently in P10. We'll follow him along and see what kind of lap time he does here. No improvement from him, unfortunately. P10 will be the best he can do with a 1 minute 20.306.
Now, I have heard some chat around the pit lane this afternoon, and the Bad Dog has not done any driving of any significance in the sim world for at least 12 months, so that is a fairly respectable result, all things considered.
Oh, absolutely is. He's definitely doing a great job considering he has been sort of out of the sport for a little bit, but it's one of those things where you can't just pick it back up and go a million miles an hour like you were previously. You still have to work yourself back up to that limit. As we see here, most of the cars crossing the finish line. The order's chopping and changing pretty consistently. Excel and Dim Durag still in the front row, but you now got Slappers in P3, 1 minute 18.6, and NASCAR to P6 there with a 1 minute 19.0.
That's pretty doable. He's on his final lap now, but he is carrying a half-second penalty. Actually, no, he's not on his final lap. He's on his out lap at the moment. He did a cheeky little pit stop there.
He definitely did. We've currently got Lenosis looking to come across the line here. No, he spun. Never mind. He will not be coming across the line, at least not very quickly. And that'll be his qualifying session done and dusted. Currently in P13, according to the timing sheet, but I feel like the timing sheet's glitching up on us. Putting Brocky on pole when he's not done a single lap does seem a bit sus.
It has caused me a bit of confusion with my button pressing, so
that's alright.
My apologies to the viewers at home.
Yep, hopefully no one catches any sort of like hay fevers or flu from that sneeze there. But by the looks of it, every car's crossed the start finish line, so it's just a case of waiting for the clock now to run out. But currently your pole sitter would be S1XL driving the Kraken Motorsports car there, with Tim Durags, who I believe is Division 2, yep, grid currently, or Cat 1B, I'll call it that. Currently on the front row beside him, so that should be a cracker of a start there, I think, from the two of them. Here we are.
Alrighty, we will just have a quick look at those lobby results, I think, once I manage to get the coordination together to do this at the same time. Rightio, hit the magic button, and there we go. Now, timing glitch aside, I don't think Brocky is going to be starting on pole. So starting at pole position will be XL with a fastest lap of a 1:18.477. A mere 400ths behind him on the front row is Tim Durags. Just a touch under 2/10 behind on the second row will be Slappers and Bulky. No size reference intended, it's just how the name works for me. The third row of the grid will be NASCAR and Bullwinkle, followed by Renegade and Prometheus, who I do believe are pretty good buddies outside of the game. Correct me if I'm wrong. The next row of the grid will be the Bad Doctor and Nemesis, followed by Betty and Lenosis, and I dare say that John and Brocky are in the battle for the back row of the grid. So might pay to keep a bit of an eye on the back end of the grid in the early stages of the race, just to see what happens.
It's going to be interesting to see both the battle at the front as well as the battle at the back here, because in my opinion, the main thing that matters is how well you do in the reverse grid race. So a lot of the boys here, I reckon Brocky, Lenosis and John could be in this group. They're focusing on getting a good start for race 2. So they're sacrificing this race here to win the big one, even though they're both the exact same race, hypothetically speaking. But it's a mental mind game. The last one's always the big one.
Well, the master strat is always qualify your best, and then crash in race 1, and then win race 2. It's worked for me brilliantly multiple times.
Alright, but I reckon these boys here, they've done the qualifying session. There's no point getting them to cool down. Let's send them off to the grid and get this race underway.
10-4, Dead Budgie. Let us get this show on the road.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, don't be afraid to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more racing action here at Sector 1. But for the time being, though, sit down, strap in, grab your popcorn, whatever beverage you want to go with that, as we go racing here for the first time tonight at Road Atlanta.
We have 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Revs are up. And they are underway. Who is going to be first into turn 1, and will there be carnage? Place your bets.
Currently right now, the top 3 seem pretty settled. Slapper's going for a move on the inside. Tim Durag there. He manages to make it stick. They're still somewhat side by side here, but Slapper's, gets a position. Gain +1 through T1. Tim Durags has lost 1. Ebok and P4 there selling in. NASCAR P5. Rocky Bullfrog Bullwinkle P6. Prometheus P7. Dark Side into P8 there. Good start from him. Renegade to P9. Nemesis spin down the background. Oh, he's taken out. John! Oh no! Oh, blah. That was a bit of carnage there. Unfortunately, Nemesis just copping a bit of grass there on the run through the S's. Had no control of the car, and John was just an innocent bystander in that little incident.
We'll see if we can get a replay on that. If I can push the right buttons with the Liquid Solutions action replay. Oh, he's on the grass. He's on the grass. He is completely out of control. Oh, he was a bit of a passenger there. Once you touch that grass, it is like ice, and there is no coming back from it, I'm afraid.
Absolutely true, unfortunately, my good sir. But unfortunately, that's racing. You push the car too hard at the start, it will generally bite back really hard. But currently though, the guys at the front seem to settle into position here. The top 3 hasn't changed after the first sector from last lap with... Oh, actually it has, sorry. XL leading Slap is 1-2. Ebok now to P3 and Tim Durags to P4. Rocky Bullfrog now jumped NASCAR to be P5. NASCAR into P6 there. Prometheus into P7. Minosis from the back of the grid to P8, doing a good job. Darkside to P9. Brocky also from the back of the grid to P10. Renegade unfortunately dropped a few positions there into P11 as Brocky goes a bit wide on the exit of the S's there. It goes down to P11 now. Renegade to P10. Betty there in the APR car in P12. John trying to make a comeback here in P13, and Nemesis currently after his little spin in P14.
Very good, as there's a little bit of side-by-side action going down the back straight here with Rocky just getting the edge on Renegade. He must have got a very good exit out of that corner. Will Renegade look to have a dive down the inside of the chicane? That would be, speaking from experience, that would be quite brave, possibly ambitious, trying to outbrake Brocky at that corner. I wish him all the best.
There are definitely smarter things he can do in life, but hey, all the power to you, good sir.
Yeah, he chose the smarter move. Is that... I must be imagining things. As we jump back up the front, Excel has managed to... Well, he hasn't really managed to skip away. There's only 0.4 of a second back to Slappers, who is hanging in there very, very well.
Slappers are unfortunately getting a pretty poor run off the exit of the S's there, and that half-second gap became a second pretty quickly.
Yep, as Tinder Rags has closed up onto the back of Bulky as well. Let's just jump on board with Tinder Rags down the back straight. See if he can sit in that slipstream and possibly make a move into the chicane. Now we must also mention that the focus of our community series is not solely on race results. We do look for racing etiquette as well as on-track behaviour. That's the key element of what we're looking for here at Sector 1.
Well and truly, Carl. Your outright speed here is not what we look for at the community series. It's all about your cleanliness and your consistency. If you're able to keep on the track and make sure that you're not ruining other people's races while doing so, that's what will give you the best shot at making it into the Sector 1 main game. Oop. Yeah, it's one of those things that that left-right chicane there going through the first sort of braking zone after T1. You get the curve the wrong way or touch the grass on the way in or out, it could easily spin you out. All the tyres are very loaded there. You got a fair bit of steering lock on. It's the challenging corner at the best of times. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out for Tim Durags that time around. Absolutely, but currently we've got two cracking battles on track. First one that I can see is between Slappers and Ebog for the last two steps on the podium. Currently separated by, like you said, about half a second there. Very much slipstream range. And then just behind Old Bull, Winkle, NASCAR and Lenosis going hammer and tong a quarter of a second. Separating the two of them currently. I've got a strange feeling Lenosis might be setting up for a move in this back chicane, big fella. NASCAR there, sort of, I guess to an extent, thinking about Robert. He knows Lenosis is a very quick driver, being on the Sector 1 grid here for the past few years now. No point trying to fight him and hold him up. Might as well just let him go by, use the slipstream to pull him up to the cars in front, and look to find another day.
And I just had the weirdest sensation that my microphone had decided to exit the chat, and according to the YouTube chat, that was the case.
I think your microphone, mate, and might need to get some repairs done. But I just want to say, your leader in XL just got a half-second penalty, and he's got Slappers half a second behind him. We're about to have a change for the lead here, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, hello, hello. This could be quite the race-changing situation here. The words are escaping me. I'm so excited.
While you're watching that though, I just want to point out in the background here, Darkside has a major incident here going through T1. Currently P14, engine damage, front bumper damage. He's hit the wall and hit the wall hard at some point there.
That's not gone well. Let's see if we can get that on a replay. Thanks to Liquid Solutions, we've got the action replay. Unfortunately, we have missed that. That is my mistake, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that.
Yep. But what it has done though, going back to the front, Slap is now the lead of the race after Excel serves his penalty. Ebog still within touching distance, less than a second behind XL and P2. This battle for the top step of the podium, and for the entire podium for that matter, definitely not over, as we're only 8 minutes into the race, not even halfway through yet, ladies and gentlemen.
Just going to check back to Lenosis in P5. He has managed to pull clear of NASCAR. He is steadily pulling time on Bullwinkle in P4.
Currently looking at the lap times between Bullwinkle and Lenosis time round. Only 0.2 of a second in favour of Lenosis last time round, but the lap before that, Lenosis had, what was that, approximately just over half a second in hand. So I got a feeling 2 to 3 laps time, Lenosis could be on the rear bumper of Bullwinkle here.
Well, there's quite the train of cars that are coming in hot behind him in the form of Brocky, who has made his way up to P7. And currently the fastest man on track just behind him in the form of John, who has clocked a 118.5 flat.
Yeah, that's a quick lap there. And he's just gone and beat that again with a 118.2 for the new fastest lap last time out there from John. Considering that John... Yeah.
You go.
Considering John got spun out there to an extent on the
as John has just
lap.
made his way past Brocky. I think Brocky had a little bit of an issue at the first chicane and has graciously stepped aside as to not impede John, who not so graciously goes around the outside of NASCAR. Gets the job done.
Yeah.
He is a man on a mission, I would imagine, after that first lap incident. He's not here to muck around. He's very focused at the moment and has one speed, flat out.
It's a shame that John didn't grab the trademark car tonight, because I'll have a good pun about him seeing the red mist right now, but yeah, he's driving like a maniac, that fella, driving quicker than anyone else on the circuit, up to P6 after being off the back just at the start of the race there. He's only 6.7 seconds off the lead as we speak, and really, I wouldn't say the win's out of the question for him at this point.
Well, he's got 3.8 seconds between him and Lenosis at the moment, so we'll jump back up the front. Just have a look at this. E-Bulk has dropped off a little bit off the back of Excel and Slappers. But he's still hanging in there in slipstream range. Whereas Excel is, well, very deep in the slipstream. Which I'm not sure if that's where you want to be through that first sector of Road Atlanta, because the dirty air can make your cornering quite interesting through that twisty section.
That does, without a doubt, and especially, thankfully not tonight, the tyre isn't too bad, but a situation where tyre was higher,
Excel
it does
has picked
really...
up a half-second penalty. He's been a bit of a naughty boy, and he will have to serve that this lap, so that will drop him back behind Bulky. That's a bit unfortunate from all that hard work to position himself in P2.
Well, actually, this might be close here, ladies and gentlemen. XL tries to defend the inside. E-Bulk looks for the inside line. Can't find it. XL holds the position. Nothing illegal there, ladies and gentlemen.
JDF mode engaged.
Also, just want to say, just behind that little defensive manoeuvre, Lenosis managed to get past Bullfrog now to P4 with a fastest lap of the race of a 1:18.0. Ooh.
That's moving. I mean,
they say red cars go faster, and right now Lenosis is showing that.
With tuning available, we did see some much quicker times from the main game series, but that does have tuning available, which can give you, depending on the track, 1 to 2 seconds faster lap times. So it'd be setting a 118 in the 118s with Bob. That's incredibly rapid.
Well and truly is, my good sir, especially considering this wind direction isn't really ideal for this track here. You're not really getting any benefits down any of the straights, bar possibly the front one ever so slightly. Lenosis is doing a great job there to almost crack the 17s in that Bob car. And this M3 itself, while it's an absolutely great car to drive, do not get me wrong, it does suffer from a very fatal condition known as chunder steer.
Well, here we go. Sorry to interrupt. We've got E-Bulk and Excel going side by side into the final chicane.
Yep, E-Bulk there going for the old switcheroo. Up the inside, down to the last corner. Oh, he's got the move done. And that little silver bell in there. Lenosis is also trying to capitalise.
Being very opportunistic there.
Ooh, thinks about it a bit. No, he's got the pace to catch up to the cars in front. Sells into the slipstream for the time. Beating Lenosis there. On the back end of the podium. About to be on the back end of the podium, quite possibly. What it does to mean, though, Slappers 1.7 second lead with 7 minutes to go. He's in a great spot here in the Black Rose car. Also, special shout out as well to newcomer Old Bullwinkle there, still sitting in P5, doing a great job there, keeping up with some very fast operators. John and Brocky still behind him there, so whatever Bullwinkle's done to that car, he's done it right, I'll tell you what. I'm not too sure if you've done something, Carbon Boy, but I cannot hear your audio anymore. I'm hoping the stream can, though.
No, sorry. There was no audio from me because I was silent.
Okay, that's alright. All good. Just making sure.
That is
alright.
alright.
Have more technical gremlins.
So far, the technical gremlins have disappeared. As it turns out, plugging the microphone in correctly does help.
There you go.
Who would have
Something
thought?
also missed on... Something else we just missed on track there as well. Well, notice it's got past Excel now at the P3.
And we also have John very rapidly hunting down Bullwinkle. The man on a mission is not looking to hang around. He's a little bit of Morse code on the rear bumper there through the first twisty section. Doesn't have an official name, well, at least not one that I can say before 9 o'clock. But I would dare say that he's going to be looking for a move into this double right-hander before the back straight. He wants to get this done.
No, Bullwinkle goes to defend it. Ooh, I reckon, no, what it's done here is... Oh, Excel's off. Oh, with a 1.5 second penalty. That's 3 wide. Oh, and John gets the best of the both of them. And now Brocky, with the slingshot effect, gets past Excel, and he's going to have a run on Bullwinkle and John.
Excel has a half-second penalty as well. I would just like to see if I can get a look at what's happened there with Excel. Thanks to the Liquid Solutions action replay. Oh, he has just gone off the track at the first of the double right-hander. Not the most elegant rejoin, but as we said earlier, once you get on the grass, the amount of control you have on the direction of your vehicle can be questionable at best. So,
and I'm just...
no harm, no foul.
Getting word as well from the pit garages down there at Kraken Esports. Currently, Excel's car is suffering from some possible power steering gremlins. He's having some wheel issues there. He may have to box the car, but for the time being, he's continuing on. Down in P8 currently. If he can just hold his own and get the car to the finish line, that will hopefully set him up nicely for the reverse grid race coming up straight after this.
Someone who hasn't had a lot of TV time tonight, who's just been quietly cruising along, doing his best, if I can find them on track, is Prometheus in the Hume car. He's just chugging along there in P11. He's been setting very consistent lap times. Hasn't had a moment. Unfortunately, in a bit of a no man's land, so just got to shove a bit of TV time his way.
Absolutely. I think judging by his lap times there, especially between laps 8, 9 and 10, only separated by half a second, and 8 and 9 separated by less than a tenth. Very consistent lap times there. Best time currently of a minute 19.989. He's just putting the laps in. He must have had a bit of an error on lap 6 there. He lost a little bit of time according to the timing screen I've got here. But he's still putting the laps. He knows there's a second race coming up. All he's got to do is finish this one, and he'll be a good spot for the next one. I'm not going to show any
bias at all, but I am going to give some TV time to Betty in the gorgeous APR Motorsport car. Just because I can.
I do not blame you. Those orange wheels are very a word that I can't use before 9 PM. I'll stop myself there before I get demonetised.
Vibrant, maybe? Bold.
Let's go with that. Close enough.
Hideous, some may say. But anyway, moving along. A little bit of TV time for Nemesis as well. He's had a few moments in this race as he runs a little bit wide across the finish line. He's going to have the bad doctor for company in a very short amount of time. Speaking of short amount of time, with a minute and a half left to go in the race, we have my boy Lenosis currently sitting P2 and within 7/10 of Slapper's mate in the lead. This could be on here.
This very much could be, and judging by the timing screen, Slappers and Lenosis will have 2 laps to go. Ebolk and John are going to be touch and go for getting that second lap in. But I've got Australian Rocky there in P5. After this lap is complete, will be your first finisher. We'll wait and see here. Anything's possible here at Sector 1. If any of the guys in front make a mistake, that's definitely going to hinder their chances of getting that elusive 16th lap in.
Oh, as John makes a move. They're side by side. Oh, no. Bulky has completely backed out of that. John made his intentions very, very clear.
I think Bulky here might be thinking long term. And by long term, I mean slipstream down the back straight and make a move down the back chicane. Didn't get the best run onto the straight here. Might not be close enough this time around, but if he does get that next lap in, which is going to be touch and go as is, I reckon there's a possibility that he might be able to get back past John here.
Oh, and Lenosis is right on the rear bumper of Slappers coming down the hill over the finish line. Are we going to see some turn 1 shenanigans, as one might say?
Right, yeah. So the top 4 are getting another lap. BSR Brocky in P5 gets another lap. Bullfrog, Tinderags get another lap. XL in P8 will be your first of the finishes as it appears. Well done from XL there. Suffering some issues late in the game, but brought the car home nicely. NASCAR there.
Renegades across the line. Prometheus coming across the line. Betty's still coming into the back chicane, so we will get back up to Lenosis, who has dropped a little bit off the back of Slappers. As Betty comes across the line, Bad Doc has managed to get the best of Nemesis, who I suspect may have had a bit of a moment, as he is nearly 4 seconds off the back of the Bad Doc, which is a position that I am somewhat familiar with after a few seasons ago at Road Atlanta in the Porsche series. Bad Doc started at the back of the grid and still managed to beat me by several seconds over the course of the race, as Lenosis has moved in to take the win from Slappers by 0.4 of a second, third across the line. Starting from the back of the grid, back row of the grid, is John, who was the man of the mission. It's probably fair to say that without that early incident in the race, that John may have found himself a little bit higher on the podium.
I reckon you're right there. He definitely had the pace to fight for the top 4, top 3, top 2, even the win. Unfortunately, I just got caught out by some lap 1 shenanigans. Couldn't do much about that, unfortunately. But hey, did a great job there to get the P3 in the end. Very good drive from John.
As we will cut to our Community Series results, if I go. So the winner of race 1 is Lenosis, also with the fastest lap of a 1:18.099. I'm going to need to say this on the behalf of Ghost. Try Hard Award. And second position is Slappers Mate with a fantastic drive. Also with a great drive in race 1 is John, taking the third step on the podium, followed by Bulky in P4, Rocky from the back of the grid to finish in P5, Bullwinkle P6, Tinderags P7, Excel P8. NASCAR with a fairly solid result in P9, Renegade bringing out the top 10, Prometheus in P11, Betty having a fairly quiet result there in P12, the Bad Doctor P13. I am really looking at him improving in race 2, as he will be starting on the front row of the grid. Hopefully there will not be any early race mishaps for him, and rounding out the grid tonight is Nemesis in P14.
Well, it was a pretty good first race in my opinion. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
That had a fair bit going on, actually. I wasn't quite sure where to look.
Yeah, absolutely a lot going on track there. We definitely had a bit of a struggle there trying to keep up with all the on-track action. So apologies, ladies and gentlemen, if we missed anything important there during the race. We caught everything we could.
Now we're just going to cut to a very short intermission, just to allow ourselves to manually set the grid for race 2. But stick with us, ladies and gentlemen. We won't be long, and we will be back into the action before you know it. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back after that slightly longer than anticipated break. We have had word from the pit lane that there has been some technical difficulties with the bad doctor's car. So we have just been giving him a couple of minutes to see if the engineers down in pit lane can tickle the car's fancy, so to speak, and possibly get it up and running again.
Received word from the pit lane. They did the old control alt delete on the car and it started up again. All 8 cylinders are firing and that car's ready to go.
Ah, excellent. That is some brilliant news. I'm quite happy to hear that and see him back on the grid and ready to roll. So, if all the drivers are good to go and you are good to go, I am ready when you are.
I think that's a good idea. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, for the last time tonight, let's go racing here at Road Atlanta. The reverse grid race of the Sector 1 Sim Racing Community Series here, round 3 at Road Atlanta. Let's send them off for the last time.
I am keen as beans. What do you think, Muffin? Is there going to be some last to first action going on, or what's your prediction?
My prediction here is, I reckon Lenosis and John, if they can keep it clean in the first few laps, they'll be on to challenge for a win. But I'm not going to write off Renegade, Prometheus and NASCAR in P4, 5 and 6. If they can pull a gap at the start, I reckon they hold on to that win.
As the lights go green here at Road Atlanta for race 2, Nemesis gets a clean start, moves to the outside. Bad Doctor having a sneaky look down the inside. That will be brave. Taking that tight line can cause you to run wide. Nemesis
running wide,
the speed. We have an
John's run wide again. John has gone off at T1 there. I'm not sure what's happened there, but he's back at the back of the grid again.
Oh, John, what are you doing, mate? Let's see if we can catch a quick look at that in our Liquid Solutions action replay. As I have not done the right thing. And he has just simply run wide, unfortunately.
I'm guessing those couple of quote-unquote alcoholic beverages have kicked into John there, and whatever he had in the front seat of that car from the guys at Doghouse Motorsport haven't done him good, unfortunately. But
and
right
it's
now,
quite spicy up the front of the grid. Nemesis getting very defensive into the down the back straight. Bad Dog's looking to the inside. Absolutely nails. Oh, no, he doesn't. He's gone very deep into that chicane. Commentator's curse. He has had a bit of a moment under brakes.
Unfortunately, it's a bit too deep trying to get past Nemesis, who pulled the old switchback on him. What it's done, though, is that it has brought Excel back into the game here. He's now currently, 3/10 of a second behind Nemesis in P1. But look at back. All the cars very much close together here. Everyone's running line of stern. This is awesome. Oh, what's he got? Oh, we got Rocky Bullwinkle has unfortunately just got a bit loose there and fallen to the back of the grid. NASCAR has also had an incident somewhere and has also gone off. Ooh, bit of chaos there we've missed, unfortunately.
That is a very tightly packed top 7 by the looks of it. Oh dear.
Ooh.
What's going on there?
Renegade's gone wide. Ooh, something's happened to Renegade there. Ooh. I wonder... Oh, he must have had an incident with a Prometheus and he's redressing currently. Alright, that's unfortunate for the two of them. But
let's see if we can catch that on our Liquid Solutions action replay. If I can get this correct this time. Oh dear, oh yes, that... We've just caught the aftermath of that. That has not gone well at all.
very unfortunate there from the two of them, but thankfully they'll be able to work together now, sort of slithering each other up down the straights here, trying to catch back up to the pack, which is very much still tightly contested here. No one's really still getting away from each other here. A few little minor gaps falling in the pack, but nothing too big. Currently, closest gap of closest gap. Closest sort of pack I can see here is P6, 7 and 8, Lenosis, Ebulk and Tim Durags here, separated by just less than
Oh
a
dear,
second.
someone's got off. Someone's had a moment. Who are we looking at here? That is the Bad Doc. What has gone on there? Let's see if we can
Bad Doc's had a minor moment.
have a
Ooh.
look at that on the Liquid Solutions action replay. All is good coming up through the chicane. Oh, yep, that curb has caught out quite a few people, yours truly included, in the past. My sympathies go out to the CP Motorsports guys who will have to do some panel beating on that car. That is a bit unfortunate.
It's okay. I can confirm as a CP driver, Chase has got a big budget for stuff like this. He's well organised behind the scenes, so like running the ship like it's 888. And look, I reckon a couple of days in the workshop and that car will be looking and running like new.
That has let Bullwinkle back on pass, back up to P9. A little bit of a gap to him and Betty. Let's just move a little further up the grid to see what's happening. Cars have started to spread out a little bit. Tim Durags in the REM entry, that beautiful bright pink Liquid Solutions car. As he goes purple through the first sector. And currently purple at the moment is none other than John with a 115.6.
As he goes from river the inside of Excel there, Lenosis trying to fold him through as well.
Just caught a little bit of very sideways action from Lenosis in the Switchblade car. This John Excel Lenosis pack is going to be a very spicy meatball.
Yep, currently this pack here battling for P3 overall. Currently speaking of battling, Slappers and Nemesis going hammer and tong for the lead of the race. Nemesis are doing a good job to be holding the lead so far. Great job there. Starting from pole position and still maintaining that lead.
Second, third and fourth and fifth, sixth and seventh are just red hot at the moment. Two packs of 3 cars. I'm not sure. Oh, Lenosis goes very wide at turn.
Nemesis goes wide too. Nemesis is spun.
Oh dear, that's...
Ooh.
Oh, that has all gone off.
Yeah, very unfortunate there. He was looking to be on for a good result there, but just went a bit wide T1 and the car went from beneath him.
So that's
what it
gone
has done
from,
though.
Yeah, that has turned 2 3-car packs into a 5-car pack.
Yeah, what it's done though is that your last race P2 finisher, Slappers, is back into the lead with John and Lenosis right behind him here. Lenosis here very much on track here to do the back-to-back wins here. Unfortunately couldn't get the pole position because he started from the back of the grid, so he won't be able to do the Grand Slam, but I reckon he's on for a good result here. Yeah. Yep, and I think 99% of them are definitely not safe for a YouTube channel before 9 PM. But we'll just let John simmer with that one, as Lenosis there does a 1 minute 18.7 for his fastest lap of the race personally. But Tim Durag still with your fastest lap overall with 1 minute 18.5. But he's had a major incident somewhere. He's down to P10 now. Yeah, last lap time there was about 12 seconds off the pace. Ooh, he's had a major incident. Ooh.
As Lenosis is closing in very rapidly on Slappers up the front, but someone else, you're saying?
Yeah, someone else that also has had some sort of incident, I feel, was Brocky down P13 currently. Now, his past few laps haven't been the best. It's just a combination of traffic giving him grief, or it's just mistakes on his own. Yeah, really, he's not having the best of times in the second race so far.
But he is rapidly closing in on the ESR gang of Renegade and Prometheus, so might see him make very short work of these two.
Yep. Speaking of short work, your teammate Lenosis just passed Slappers into the back chicane for the lead of the race.
Oh, hello.
So right now, P1, 2 and 3 separated by 0.7 of a second. Lanosis, Slappers, and John respectively. Lanosis there sent the fastest lap of the race last time around with 1 minute 18.527. But every
not
car...
far behind is John, setting a 1:18.564. He is driving like a man possessed tonight. I'm pretty certain he does not want to let Lanosis get the double. I reckon John wants the W tonight.
I think whatever go-go juice the boys at Doghouse Motorsports put in that car for John is working a treat so far.
In a little bit of no man's land, just going to treat him to a bit of TV time right now, is Bulky, the RMR car, in P5 at the moment. Very solid result, very solid drive from this guy tonight. Very impressive.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad at all, without a doubt. He's being accompanied by family on the back of the car there. I'm going to stop making that joke at some point, but I'm going to keep riding it for as long as I can. But yeah, definitely currently 4.7 seconds to Excel in front and about 2 seconds to Bullwinkle behind. Just put in some nice consistent laps here, and really, if the 4 cars in front of him start to battle pretty hard, he could be back in this battle in no time.
Yeah, like you said, 1.8 seconds back to Bulky. Who had that earlier mishap. It's kind of not done good things for his race tonight. It's kind of put him out in the middle of nowhere. Let's see if he can make some inroads on that gap to P5, but he does have a comfortable 4 seconds back to Tim DeRags in P7, who has a very fired up looking Betty in P8 closing in to less than a second, and I would imagine a fairly determined Bad Doc in P9, who is right behind Betty. And I dare say those two would be looking to close the gap up to Tim and maybe even make a move sometime later in this race as we just edge our way past the halfway mark.
I think it's very much, I think Betty here putting a good show on here in the second race. He's got the left indicator on, let everyone know that he's going left at some point. I'm not sure when. But yeah, currently Darkside, the Bad Doc, he's catching up pretty quickly here. He's just under a second behind.
He does have Brocky right on his rear bumper now, having made short work of the 2 ESR guys. Would be safe to say Brocky is finding his feet in terms of pace now.
Very much so. In fact, that throughout last sector split, he was up on the purple lap by nearly 0.4 of a second there.
Bad Doc goes a little deeper. Bad Doc he's got it. Hold it, son. That's not quite a car control, but that is a fantastic effort to keep the car pointed in a straight line. And let's see if we can get that on a Liquid Solutions action replay.
Did a great job there not to car too much, and thankfully didn't make contact with any other cars on the way through there.
Tell you what, if that was me, that car would have done a full 720 into that concrete overpass. That would not have gone well.
Yeah, mate, it weren't enough spins to make it look like a plain blade Tony Hawk Pro Skater. While watching that replay though, just want to say the battle at the front definitely simmered down. Lanosis got a 1.3 second gap over John in P2 there, who's got a 1 second gap over Slappers in P3. John though currently purple by just under 0.2 of a second as they come up to the back chicane. But really, Lanosis is starting to pull away, so I've got a feeling that Lanosis might extend that 5 lap gap here. I'll just wait and see as it crosses the finish line. No, he does not. It goes slower. But John does a 118.0. Oh, John's on fire, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, he's definitely fired up tonight.
Sober John is here, I believe, and he's not messing around tonight.
The gap's still at 1.1 seconds, so we might just leave them to it and see if we can get a look at some of the community guys. Slappers, P3. Commendable job in the Black Rose car tonight. Got a fair bit of a gap back to Excel, so he's doing well. Bulky P5, still holding his own. A little bit of no man's land, but just putting in solid, consistent laps. He's got a fastest lap of a 119.1, which is certainly nothing to be sneezed at. The gap back to Bullwinkle has come down a little bit, who's in P6 in the Lightning Motorsport car. who's going to have a very quick-looking Tim Durags for company sometime shortly as they come down the back straight. Tim Durags is in the slipstream.
Yep, Tim Durags, currently his fastest lap is about two tenths off of John's fastest lap there set last time round, but Tim Durags is currently purple by 0.2 of a second, so a good run through his chicane could mean that Tim snags that fastest lap and possibly gets into the 17.
Oh, it's looking very likely. He's got the slipstream. Oh, 118.088. That is, let me do my math, 0.0325. So less than 300s behind the fastest lap. And it's now right on the rear bumper of Bullwinkle coming through the first sector. And like we said earlier, not the ideal place to be due to the dirty air. Let me get my words out clearly.
It's all good. It's also dirty air, but also some people find that car in front, it's like a distraction. You can't really sort of visualize your line because generally the car in front is following the same line and they're covering up where you want to go. And if there's any sort of like debris on the track and stuff like that, you're not going to notice it as quickly as the car in front would, so to speak. But currently here, Tim Durags here, got a slipstream here. Rocky is defending the inside line. Tim Durags goes to the outside. Side by side here, coming into the braking zone. Let's see who is the latest of the breakers. They both break roughly at the same time. Rocky tries to hold the inside line. Tim Durags around the outside, gets the move done. Tim Durags to P6.
Great move. A little bit of touching, but I think the door was very firmly slammed shut there by Tim Durags.
I think Tim Durags there, very brave on the brake there to ensure, goes around the outside of the first part of chicane to have the apex for the second part. It really stops Rocky from pulling any sort of moves on him down on the run to the start-finish line.
Let's just check in back up the front to see how John's going, chasing down Lenosis. He is within 0.7 of a second. He is in slipstream as they come onto the back straight.
And Lenosis is about to serve a half-second penalty, so that gap's going to get very small.
Oh dear, someone's been naughty. There will be some words coming out from underneath Lenosis' helmet. And John will be absolutely cheering as he goes flying on by.
Gets the move done before they get to the braking zone of chicane. We've got approximately 4 minutes to go in this race, ladies and gentlemen. John 27 TCT has taken the lead from Lenosis. Slap is in P3, 2.7 seconds behind. John still with that fastest lap of a 1 minute 18.0, which is absolutely phenomenal. Alien-like, some might call it.
Just going to take an on-board ride with Lenosis through this first sector, just to give you an idea of what it's like being behind another car.
Through here. Lenosis here using a bit of steering like I'm looking inside the car as well. Down through the gears before you come up. And I reckon he's going to get another penalty for that. He went very wide on the exit of that S is there. Did lift off the throttle, but no, he's copped it anyway. Lenosis has done 2 laps in a row now. Another half-second penalty. That may cost him a chance at the win here. He should be able to snag P2, as long as he doesn't keep getting penalties. But yeah, John's just going to walk away now.
Ah dear, I was hoping for a bit more of a battle there, but what can you do?
Unfortunately, we all were. But
what can you do? You could not exceed track limits. That's what you can do.
Well, next time you're in the APR Motorsport room with Lenosis, definitely pass on that memo to him so he knows for next time that the track limits are clearly defined. Don't break the rules, good sir.
You sound like me talking to you a few weeks ago.
Anyways, John there set a new fast lap of the race with 1 minute 18.039. He's getting ever closer to that sub 18 mark, but unfortunately just not able to get a good enough run through the back chicane to make it happen.
He wants that 17 so badly. You can almost taste it. Oh, here we go. Having a look back at Bulky in P6. Now has a Bullwinkle very firmly for company. There is only 4 tenths between them coming through the first sector. Oh, as Bullwinkle has a little bit of a shaky moment. Manages to gather himself up. He's lost a little bit of ground on Bulky, unfortunately. Bulky and Bullwinkle. Jeez, I'm not going to confuse myself here at all.
Right, something else just happened to Mr. Borky. Brocky 05 Sim Racing team owner Brocky 05 has gone to the pits for a fresh set of tyres. I've got a feeling Brocky might try and take that fast lap of the race away from John, but he's only going to have one lap to do it, so you better make it count.
I think it's fairly safe to say he wants to go out and say, hey John, look, I can do a 17 and you can't.
John there, another 18.1 there. He's ever close to that 17 mark, but just can't make it stick over all three sectors. But what he has done though, he's put 2.3 seconds on Lenosis in the past two laps. John is flying out there.
Well, Lenosis's last few laps, well, there's a 19.4 and a 19.7, courtesy of some half-second penalties. His last lap was a 118.3, so if we take the penalties out of the equation, he still lost 0.2 of a second to John. I think it's fairly safe to say, pending any incidents from John, he may just have this race win sewn up.
Yeah, look, John, he doesn't need to push the car. He could easily just cruise along and take the win, but if I know John, he doesn't want to settle on that 18.0 fastest lap. He wants more.
Oh, there will be no cruising.
Yeah, he's got a 10th up.
He's purple. Oh.
But it just seems that through the chicane, he always loses that time. He just can't get it right, unfortunately. Let's just see though, coming down to the start-finish line, gets nice and close to the apex there. Going through the last corner. There we are, 17.8. He's done it, ladies and gentlemen.
Oof, he's not only got a 17, he's got it by nearly dead on 0.2. That was a absolute cracker of a lap.
And what has done as well.
XL comes across the line to finish, as does Tim DeRags. Oh, very, very, very sideways. And Bulky manages to hang on by the skin of his nose over Bullwinkle. As Renegade P8 comes down the hill and across the line, he will be very happy with that, I would imagine. Prometheus comes in P9. NASCAR P10, closely followed by Betty in P11 and the Bad Doc in P12. Brocky in P13, not something you say in the same sentence very often.
And he did try and go for that fastest lap there from John, but missed out by 1.5 of a second.
But he still went sub 18?
He still went sub 18. Solid job there.
John coming through the final chicane, under the Fox Factory Bridge, down the hill, round the final turn. Your race winner, Community Series Round 2, sideways across the line, is John. Second across the line is Lenosis, and a commendable effort in P3 is Slappers, mate.
Slappers there, definitely a great job there, getting back-to-back podiums. Nice effort there from Slappers.
That was a fantastic drive, I think, from him. So, viewers in the chat, fire in with your driver of the days, please. I would be keen to hear those as we shall cut to our results. And our winner of race 2 is none other than John 27 TCT. Unfortunately, Lenosis exceeding the track limits, copping the penalties, that's potentially cost him the win in P2. P3, as I said before, commendable effort from Slappers. P4 is Excel. P5, Tim DeRags. P6, Bulky. P7, Bullwinkle. Both fantastic drives from our community drivers. P8 is Renegade. P9, another one of our community drivers. One of our newer community drivers. It's good to see him get along tonight. We had some technical issues in the past getting Prometheus in, but it's great to see him here tonight and finishing in P9. P10 tonight is NASCAR, followed by Betty on their return drive. Bad Doc, P12, may not be totally happy with that, but come back for the next round, mate. I'm sure you can do better. I know you can. P13, Brocky, and rounding out our race tonight is Nemesis in P14. So, guys in the chat, jump it in with your drivers of the day. But first of all, Muffin, your driver of the day.
Look, it's a tough decision, and for me, I've got to give it a 2 here because I can't separate the two of these. But first and foremost, special mention to Slappers. Great job from him to get back-to-back podiums there. Grouse out from him both races. But my two, which I can't separate them personally, Bullwinkle and Bulky, I reckon both did great jobs tonight. Both sort of relatively new to the community series and definitely held their own with some commendable competition. So they did a great job, in my opinion.
That is true. That is true. Again, shout out to Slappers. That was some fantastic driving tonight. It's great to see. I might have to agree with you, actually, on well, not so much the joint. I'm probably going to give my driver of the day to Bulky. He's put in a very solid drive, tried to keep his nose clean, just went about his business, finished the race, and while not on the podium, I feel that he just, I don't know. I'm just going with my gut on this one. That's where I sit. But the YouTube chat is, well, it's fairly unanimous in terms of the YouTube chat's selection for driver of the day, and it does go to Slappers, I would say.
Yeah, no, well earned without a doubt. Yeah, definitely a great job all night, Slappers there. So the Sector 1 community, yeah, they're making their voices heard, and us in the comments box, we only have so much power, but at the end of the day, the people have the final say, and I think your driver of the day, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be Slappers, mate.
Well deserved. That'll go along with his podium finish. You can rack that one up on the wall. And speaking of racking those things up on the wall, I think we might just call this one quits for the night, I would say, Muffin, unless you've got anything else to say.
Oh, all I really got to say is thank you to all the ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls that came out and watched the racing here at the Sector 1 Community Series tonight. If you enjoy the action you're seeing, mate, don't be afraid to like and subscribe. Ring the notification bell to be notified whenever we go live again. I think our next stream will be this Sunday around Bathurst, arguably the most infamous and best track in Australia. I won't hear any other opinions until I die. But also, if you want to get involved in the action, there should be a link to our Discord in the description there. Jump on in, come say good day, and we may see you on this grid here in the near future.
Excellent. And thank you very much again to everyone for tuning in tonight. Apologies for the earlier technical issues. It just seems it helps when you plug things in correctly. Who would have thought? And thank you also to Muffin for joining me in the comms box tonight. It's been a pleasure having you as always.
Pleasure doing the commentary with you, Carbon Boy. It's always lovely to hear your voluptuous voice, for lack of a better terminology.
That's not a word I've ever heard used to describe it, but I will take it. And on that note, everybody, thank you very much for joining us, and good night.